of the second edition of the Africa Prosperity Dialogue, where we collectively commit to collaborate closely to promote the accelerated implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement and to utilize science, technology, and innovation to create value added made in Africa goods underpinned by pursuing commodity-based industrialization, investing in trade-related infrastructure, implementing specific measures to empower women entrepreneurs, and ratifying the EU protocols on free movement of people. This year's edition was centered on a collective effort to investment in critical infrastructure that will drive the integration of Africa's single market, recognizing that infrastructure is the backbone of economic growth and regional integration. The 2025 APD prioritizes actionable strategies to mobilize resources, align policies, and foster cross-border collaboration that will enhance trade facilitation, energy security, transport connectivity, and digital transformation. Our discussion were further informed by the outcome document from the Policy and Business Leaders Dialogue that was held on the 31st January 2025. We recognize that infrastructure is the backbone of economic integration. Participants reaffirmed their commitment to establishing a continental infrastructure investment framework that will guide coordinated efforts between government, private investors, and development partners for sustainable infrastructure development. Recognizing the urgent need for infrastructure, we prioritized actionable strategy to mobilize resources, align policies, and foster cross-border collaboration that will enhance trade facilitation, energy security, transport connectivity, and digital transformation. We reaffirmed the need to bridge Africa's infrastructure financing gap, which the African Development Bank estimates at between $130 billion and $170 billion annually, through innovative financing mechanisms such as blended finance, public-private partnership, PPPs, and sovereign wealth funds. We emphasize the importance of energy infrastructure, empowering industries, supporting digital economies, and ensuring sustainable development. We noted that with over 30 African countries experiencing regular power outage, delegates called for a coordinated regional energy policies and the development of interconnected power grids to enhance reliability and affordability. Ghana's effort in renewable energy expansion, grid modernization, and energy access improvement serves as a model for other African nations looking to achieve energy resilience. We recognize the need to build a robust transport and logistic infrastructure to integrate our continent. We highlighted the need for a harmonized transport regulation, investment in transnational road and railway networks, and the full implementation of the Single Africa Air Transport Market, SATM. Efficient and integrated transport systems are key for reducing trade costs, increasing intra-Africa trade, and improving market access for business, especially small and medium enterprise SMEs. We noted the role of the digital infrastructure in shaping the futures of Africa's economy. We collectively advocated for investment in broadband expansion, mobile payment, interoperability, and regulatory harmonization to unlock the potential of digital trade. Africa's rapid adoption of mobile technology presents an opportunity to leapfrog traditional banking system and enhance financial inclusion across the continent. We acknowledged Ghana's mobile payment system and interoperability framework serves as a benchmark for other nations aiming to streamline digital transactions. We acknowledged the critical role of social infrastructure, including education, healthcare, and housing, in sustaining long-term economic prosperity. Addressing these fundamental foundational needs is essential for creating a skilled workforce, fostering innovation, and ensuring inclusive development. We call for increased public and private sector investment in human capital development to equip Africa's youth with the skills necessary for the emerging digital and industrial economies. Additionally, we underscore the pivotal role of leveraging public-private partnership to address the significant infrastructural deficit that confronts the continent. Our discussion highlighted ongoing financial reform in Africa countries aimed at strengthening sustainable investment in infrastructure that support entrepreneurship initiative, women, youth, and SMEs business activity. We concluded that we must seize this moment to invest adequately in Africa's future to connect business, markets, and people, and integrate our policy framework systems and structures to achieve a successful economic single market for over 1.4 billion people from a united 55 countries. The African Continental Free Trade Area is our greatest opportunity to redefine Africa's place in the global economy, but it can only be fully realized with modern, efficient, and integrated infrastructure. We commit, after an extensive deliberation, to the following: business community, collaborate with central bank, financial institution, and government to forge a cooperative partnership to bolster investment in technology, ensuring the interoperability and standardization of payment systems across the continent, while actively pursuing enhancement, efficiency, and consistency in the payment ecosystem. Commit to financing and implementing the large-scale infrastructure project, including energy, transport, and digital infrastructure through private-public partnership, PPPs. Develop a Pan-African transport and logistic network modeled after Amazon, leveraging AI, blockchain, and digital platform to seamless trade. Take active part and support continent-wide mobile payment interoperability, broadband expansion, and regulatory harmonization to unlock the full potential of Africa's digital economy. Prioritize investment in STEM education, technical training to equip Africa's youth with future-ready skills, fostering innovation and industrial growth. Mobilize domestic capital and investment into the proposed Africa Infrastructure Fund, ensuring Africa business and individual contributes to their own development. Create structured remittance-linked investment products and diaspora bond to channel Africa's 100 billion annual remittances into infrastructure development. At the level of the heads of state, create an enabling policy and regulatory environment that promotes and encourages investment in infrastructure on the continent. Standardize public-private partnership regulation and create incentives to attract private sector investment into large-scale infrastructure projects. Fully implement a single African air transport market, SATM, in the intra-Africa air transport by implementing the Yamoussoukro decision to reduce trade costs and enhance regional connectivity. Commit to large-scale energy infrastructure projects such as the Grand Inga Dam and interconnected powers grids to enhance energy reliability and affordability. Establish unified trade regulation, reduce bureaucratic barriers, and streamline customs procedure to facilitate seamless cross-border trade under CFTA. Facilitate the integration of the African capital market, enabling business to raise infrastructure financing across multiple exchanges, and introduce diaspora investment fund, tax incentives, and blended finance model to leverage Africa's financial resources for sustainable development. At the level of the multilateral organization, strengthening partnership and funding mechanism to scale up infrastructure financing, support the establishment of an African infrastructure fund to unlock the 2 trillion in domestic capital from pension fund, insurance funds, and sovereign wealth fund, expand blended finance and risk mitigation instrument, develop and implement innovative financing models such as infrastructure bonds and sovereign-backed guarantees to attract long-term investment, provide technical assistance and capacity building program to government for structuring and managing bankable infrastructure project, drive investments in digital infrastructure, mobile payment system, and financial platform to enhance intra-Africa trade and connectivity, promote financing for renewable energy projects and climate-resilient infrastructure to align with global sustainability goals, engage in policy dialogue with African government to harmonize regulation, reduce trade barriers, and support regional integration under AFCFTA, provide support to member states of the African Union that have not ratified the agreement, encouraging them to do so, progress from the guided trade initiative, and implement comprehensive trading among all state parties under the CFTA agreement at the level of the partners, multilateral development bank, regional development finance institution, commercial bank, investors, and other financiers will strengthen their assistance to government and the private sector by making available attractive and affordable trade finance and supporting private sector engagement across the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Development partners, including the United Nations, Africa Development Bank, Afrexim Bank, and others, will continue to provide coordinated support to government, businesses, and CFTA Secretariat to expedite the full implementation of the CFTA. The UNDP, UNECA, AFDB, and CFTA Secretariat will support the APN Secretariat with technical assistance to develop the necessary metrics and monitoring frameworks to track implementation and impact of this compact. We collectively commit to invest, connect, and integrate to shape Africa's future as a globally competitive economic powerhouse. We commit to meet annually under the Africa Prosperity Dialogue to take stock of the progress of the Africa's Prosperity Agenda. We thank His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana, and the government of the Republic of Ghana for spearheading the Africa Prosperity Dialogue for Africa's gain, signed by heads of state, business executive, business association, Africa Business Council, African Union, development partners, youth, young entrepreneurs, done at the Accra International Conference Center, Accra, Ghana, on 1st February 2025. And thank you. I submit.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the Action Compact. And now our program, ladies and gentlemen, will come to the torch lighting, which will be in 2 parts. But before then, for our announcement purposes, kindly, upon the exit of His Excellencies, the President, we kindly and respectfully request that you remain in this room. When our Excellencies leave the auditorium, they'll take a tour of the Projet Afrique exhibition on their way out. And we also kindly ask that you take advantage of what we have in store there, which is an exhibition of indeed what we're talking about, which is Africa's prosperity. Tonight at the Gala Awards dinner, we will award some of our captains of industry with pride, and we will also hear from some of our CEOs, their reflections, their remarks on what has happened and transpired here in Accra over the last 2 days and now 3 days. Over to you, Prince.
Thank you very much, Anita. The lighting of the torch shall be in 2 parts, as earlier said. First, we're going to have a signing ceremony between the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, BADEA, and the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat. And this will be done by the Secretary General of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, His Excellency Wamkele Mene, and the President of the Arab Bank for Economic Development, BADEA, President Sidi Ultar. Shall we have you on the stage, please, for the signing ceremony?
May we kindly ask the APN team to deliver us with the documents, please. And ladies and gentlemen, in accordance with Agenda 2063, also which merges with the Sustainable Development Goals 17, collaboration and partnership is a sure way to reach, one may call it the destination that we're looking for as Africa. Though we are self-reliant, we also humbly do accept that partnerships is what essentially gets us further and faster to our destination. A round of applause for this symbolic signing. May I kindly ask our stagehands to do us the honors of removing the tables and chairs as we move to the last part of our program this afternoon here in Accra. For those of you who are unable to join us in the physical and who are joining us online, it's been an utmost honor bringing the continent to Accra today as we collaborate on the conversation on delivering Africa's single market through infrastructure, as we focus on investing, we focus on connecting, and indeed, we aspire to integrate. Ladies and gentlemen, with pride and respect and honor, please allow me to bring the facilitator for the lighting of the Africa Trade Torch, Her Excellency Dr. Amani Asfor, President of Africa Business Council, to lead this last part, which is essentially the icing on the cake.
Your Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, President of Ghana, Your Excellency, President Faure Gnassingbé, President of Togo, Your Excellency, Azali Assoumani, President of Comoros, Your Excellency, the Great Mother of Africa, Your Excellency, Brother Wamkele Mene, SG of ACFTA, Your Excellency, our brother, President of BADEA, Sidi Ultar, Your Excellencies, brothers and sisters of the continent. This is a real historical moment for the Africa Trade Torch that is an initiative of the private sector. All of Your Excellencies are talking about the private sector. So the Africa Business Council is your council, established by the heads of states, within the same decision of the establishment of ACFTA to be the voice of the private sector. The big companies, the women, the SMEs, the small-scale miners, the youth of the continent, the startups. This is the council that have been founded by Your Excellencies to be the voice of those who have no voice. And what we're trying to do at Africa Business Council and Africa Trade Torch is to have popularization for the role of the private sector and popularization for the ACFTA, which is our flagship program of the continent. But Your Excellencies, to trade, we need to invest and we need to industrialize. That's why we are here. The founding vision of the Africa Business Council is a competitive, borderless, innovative Africa for trade, investment, and industrialization. And this could happen on 3 pillars. Private sector strengthening, including SMEs, women, and youth, so we need to build the capacity of our private sector. Policy advocacy, so Your Excellencies, you are here. We are advocating to have the enabling environment from outside the African soil, Your Excellencies. It's very important. The third pillar is about product development, how we value addition and beneficiation of our raw materials, as Your Excellency Mahama have just really alluded with all of Your Excellencies. We have all the resources on the continent. 65% arable land, but we are importing $100 billion per year. The cocoa here is exported raw with $5.7 billion, but the chocolate industry is $215 billion. The shea butter in West Africa, we are exporting $90 million, but the cosmetic industry in the world is $571 billion. We have 400 million heads of cattle in the continent, while we are importing dairy products with $157 million. We have 49% of the electricity, renewable energy potential of the whole world, while 600 million houses are still with no electricity. We are losing lives. 70% of cancer patients on the continent compared to 24% only in Europe, because we are lacking the infrastructure in health, the radiotherapy and radiodiagnosis. Your Excellencies, we are here as private sector to support, to invest and to industrialize, and that's why the Africa Trade Torch, which is the symbol of the private sector, the symbol of the trade of a Made in Africa product, is here for all of you, Your Excellencies, my sisters and brothers of the continent, to see how we empower the private sector, how we industrialize, how we make sure of the Africa we want. And Your Excellencies, the private sector is always challenging. When you say, we want Africa free from hunger, free from disease, free from illiteracy, free from ignorance, what we need as the Africa we want, an Africa not free from hunger but well-nourished, not free from illiteracy but well-educated, not free from poverty but wealthy, not free from disease but healthy. And so, Your Excellencies, this is the Africa we want. Can we now invite Your Excellency, President of Ghana, and Your Excellency, the President, to come for lighting the Africa Trade Torch. At the same time, we are lighting it across the whole world. Can we invite
Prosperity Network. We've got the
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as the presidents now depart to take a tour of their Projet Afrique exhibition, which we also humbly encourage you to take advantage of. Please don't leave the auditorium until we have bid the presidents farewell. With due respect, we are also asking that you be a little bit more patient. We have just a few more seconds to go. His Excellencies will now depart. Please remain standing. Thanking them for their time and commitment and for being here with us at the Africa Prosperity Dialogues 2025. Tonight at the gala dinner, as I mentioned, our captains of industry will be awarded, and they will also share a few words at the gala dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated for only an additional 2 minutes, We've got our wonderful event executives who are distributing gifts for you. Please give us 2 more minutes and we will share those gifts. If I can ask our event executives to kindly distribute them.
You've got devices, translation devices with you. Please leave them. They cannot be used outside here. They're only meant for translation services. They are useless outside, so please leave them on your chairs. Also, we have a last panel that will take place at the Africa Prosperity Champions Awards, taking place at the Kempinski Hotel this evening. We should hear from our business executives and leaders.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute honor serving you the last 3 days as we come together to push the agenda for Africa's prosperity forward with a specific focus on delivering Africa's single market through infrastructure, investing, connecting, integrating. That has been the theme of Africa Prosperity Dialogues 2025. My name is Anita Erskine, and my dear co-host was Prince Moses, who did a fantastic job of not just standing on stage to deliver the events today, but who's also our Director of Communications at Africa Prosperity Network. Congratulations to you, Prince.
Thank you very much to the beautiful and ever-ravishing Anita Erskine for such a wonderful job done, as always.
Also, congratulations to my brother, Jesse Ejapong, who was a fantastic co-host yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, as we switch gears into our program, which involves taking a tour of Projet Afrique and then later on the gala dinner, with humility, respect, and honor, I say have a wonderful afternoon and do enjoy Accra, Ghana, whatever you do.